Erica. So what we have here today is a modern kit for AE-1200, aka the World Timer, or better known as the Casio Royale. But first we're gonna focus on the comparison rather than the actual installation. After all, it is more like an upgrade kit based on the official system. So some of you might know the original AE-1200 was made in plastic and not even alloy, then electroplated with the metal finishing you see now. As you can imagine, not very durable in terms of daily wear and tear. This one I've been wearing for better part of 2021. The mid case, the bezel, the acrylic glass, and the bracelet are all dinged up. Yes, it's a tough watch indeed, but it can be tougher. Tougher how? Just you wait. So this is our revamped version of Casio Royale. No more plastic case, now all made in 3on6L stainless steel. Bezel is a separate part as well. All parts are individually IP coated. And about the coating you ask? Wait till I finish the comparison. It will definitely surprise you. And the glass, that's a big upgrade as well from once fragile acrylic to now sapphire. The bracelet, all solid links connected with the good old screws and threads. And it's true oyster style, 3 parts pieced together, not some phony trick with 1 part and carved 2 lines on it. The original mechanism is even worse than conventional hairpin studs. Not to mention links are not even solid, just pieces of metal clamped together. Like I said, the entire watch is IP coated and certified with authorized facilities, from buttons to the clasps, from case to the bezel, all rated nearly 1000 HV on average in Vickers Hardness tests. Quadruple the resistance from the mundane 190 HV that many steel cases have. No more bumps and scratches can ever harm it. You can now tell doorknobs and table corners go to hell. But we didn't change anything on the clasps, otherwise it would be too chunky. Or maybe, if some of you feel like some milk clasps is something you like, we can always do that. To get the essence of Casio Royale, we pursue perfection on every single detail, like these curves on the bezel, each twist and turn handles beautifully. Other than the upgrades on material finishing and minor structural modification, there are virtually no differences comparing to the original watch. Except for this part maybe, but for the better, since the original case was made in 2 separate molds, therefore having this hideous line all across side profile or the mid case. Ours do not have this problem whatsoever, injection molded with the finest powder and carefully milled out the details. By the way, this modern kit does support AE-1300 to mod. For those of you not very good at tinkering, we sell the entire watch including the movement. Caseback is not included with the case except for the complete build we are selling, but our idea is you can reuse the original one. It's 100% compatible. Well, let's stop all the talk and get our beeping machine out. See if this is genuine sapphire, like those mainly watch channel and YouTubers did. See? It reaches 9 on the chart of Mohs scale. You can Google the scale for different materials, but man-made sapphire is one of those 9ers. Of course, I can probably imagine, because it was made in all solid steel, it became a chunky boy for sure. Actually, I don't know exactly how heavy does it actually weigh. I guess we'll find out about that now. The OG Royale just a hair touching 80 grams, and ours I got this size to my 17 cm wrist with a few links removed, so I'm guessing mid 140s or so with full links. But it's definitely not as heavy as you might have thought when put on wrist. It's perfectly balanced with the weight of bracelet. I'm pretty sure you are not gonna be satisfied with all the bells and whistles I've been talking about, right? Then why don't we put it to the test, the infamous steel brush torture test. You ready? Let's do it. Done. Let's see if it has any mark on it. Need I remind you that normal steel cases you got from numerous brands usually range from late 100s to mid 200s HV. You can throw this into your pocket with your keychains and one for a mile, probably some minor nicks on the surface, but 1000 HV? I reckon that's more than enough for ordinary people like you and me. That steel brush is no joke. I think I can rest my case here in terms of the coating we applied. But I have to reiterate, this coating only prevents minor to mid bumps and scratches, also avoid visible damages. If you smash it to the ground, it will definitely crack. So that's pretty much it for the comparison. Without further ado, let's jump right into the installation. So here's your pre-assembly case and the bracelet. This is a prototype test unit we'll be using. Hope you don't mind, it's a bit dirty really. Anyway, grab your Royale over and remove the bracelet first. So the general idea here is stripping down the watch and extract what's in there, eventually transplant the movement and the dial as a whole from one case to another. But we'll salvage the original Caseback and put it into use again. Can you see a gap? Use your flat-headed screwdriver as a pry bar to gently pry it out. As you do so, try to avoid touching the screen. Best if you can find something to cover it, like a shed. Otherwise, fingerprints and dust are not that easy to remove from it. Next, the dial. If it's not glued or clamped in between or anything, you can just lift it off like I did here. The rest is pretty much in reverse of what I did before. Put the dial back in this SKXMOD version of AE-1200 case. And make sure it's all the way down. Movement, put it sideways, slide in one side first, then the other. One is halfway in and level on both sides. Put your thumb in the middle and apply gentle pressure. Then use your screwdriver to press down the leaf spring-like piece of metal. All 4 of them, 2 on each side. There you go. Those leaf springs are actually actuators connecting to the outside buttons. Would you look at that? It's all tucked in like it's never been removed before. Sorry, fingerprints. How about the buttons? Let's see if those work. So the beeping function is not yet available, but you can pay attention to the watch. It definitely works now. And pretty much the final step, put the original Caseback back in. Don't forget the gaskets as well. Tuck it nicely into the trench of the case, like I did here. Orientation. The one thing you should keep in mind here. If you are not doing like I did here, tags on both sides having the same orientation, the watch won't be able to beep. And for the caseback screws, please use the ones that we included in the modern kit, because the original ones do not match the spec of this case. Also, don't forget to tap in those screws diagonally for even pressure. Let's see if I was right about the caseback and the beeping. It seems all good. And that's pretty much it for the case assembly. Now we move on to the bracelet. First, you just grab a piece of spring bar, tuck it into your bracelet's pinhole. Then you line up one side by resting the tip of the spring bar into the dimple of the case. Finally, you use a flat-headed screwdriver to tuck the other tip into the opposite dimple. And after all that, you should now repeat the same procedures on the other end of the bracelet. Wiggle a little bit will help you locate the dimple a lot faster. And my friend, this is the entire transformation of this very modern kit. And we'll see you next time, maybe with the release of our ultimate Casio. Have a good day.